Alright, hello Lumbermill. It's been a while, but I'm just gonna go straight into my ideas for this. Basically, my first idea is to change the suspension from diagonal to vertical so that more of the force, or all of the force, is gonna be directly vertical instead of having some of it displaced horizontally, which makes it worse. And then I'm also, another idea, my grandpa gave me this idea, was to add preload to the springs, and this makes it so that the resistance when compressed is going to be like the same, but it's going to be different from the starting point. So just at rest it should kind of stay higher with more ease. Another idea is for different shock oil, because I'm not sure what I have in it right now, but the higher viscosity will make it stiffer and harder to compress. And then the last option is just to buy more shocks, because you just get more resistance out of it. Alright, so this is just a quick time lapse of me making the front suspension arms. They're a bit different from the rear because it was just like different lengths, and some of the arms actually needed to be like curved horizontally to be able to fit in the front. Just because I didn't make it like the same as the back, so yeah. These ones, they took a little bit to make, but it wasn't too bad. So what I ended up doing for the suspension was I kind of just skipped to the very last solution, and I just bought more like shocks. I figured it'd probably be the best way to like save money, because I probably would have needed to buy them anyways, because I doubt that, like, just because of how heavy it was, I doubt that using like different oil or trying to use preload, it wouldn't just do the trick enough. So I ended up just buying the shocks, and yeah, so that was the solution.
So what I'm doing right now is using this little piece that I printed. Basically, it lines up the holes on the bottom of this, and it just makes it so I can use the Sharpie to mark it on there. But it lines it up for me so I can get a good drill. Alright, I just finished drilling them and screwing them in, and I got these pretty tight, and yeah, there's like very limited wobble, but this plastic base can still bend a little bit, but it should be fine. Test piece here, but as of now it is fitting with the two suspensions. However, the only problem that there is that when this lifts up, if I can do it, the springs eventually touch each other, like right there, they kind of touch, but I don't think that should be too big of an issue just because it's barely. But yeah, I just got to get the other side done. I messed up over here, got some plastic in the thread so it wouldn't screw, so I had to reprint it, so we're just waiting on that right now. But yeah, so I was having trouble putting in these threaded inserts, and because it would like melt the plastic and it would clog up the threads, and I wasn't able to like screw it in. So what I ended up doing was taking these vice grip pliers, and I would just lock them on to the bolt so that I could thread on the insert, and then I would take my soldering iron and just set it on the edge of that, and then you just heat it up, and then you could just hold it with your grips and just push it in, and then the bolt prevents it from leaving plastic inside the thread, so you can just thread it in easier. It does look good though. I like how it looks, and it moves a little bit, but I wasn't able to screw in all the screws because I messed up like my previous drill holes for my other shock tower that I had, but we should fix it on the new one. So I ended up finding a way how to patch the holes pretty good. If you just print it with like a skirt to help adhesion, it actually plugs it up pretty good, and it helps the glue stay on it. So I think I'm gonna start doing that. So this next clip is me cutting more metal rods for like a hinge joint in the suspension. It actually works. So I just gotta stabilize it because it's like at 2 points, but it goes back up. And yeah, the tires are able to spin, as you can see, and I think this is gonna work. I just need to fix this frame. I have a new one printed already right here, and then I just gotta print more pieces for the back and then connect it to this. I also need to buy more shocks still. Okay, I think I officially finished the front end of this RC car, so I'll show you what it looks like. So that was kind of just a lie. I completely forgot about the steering bar and linking a servo to it, and yeah, so I still gotta do all that. So I guess it doesn't look too good, but this side is a little bit tight with this axle here because I must have like left it too long and didn't cut it. So this little pin, this metal pin, kind of pops in and out when it turns. So I ended up having an issue with the axle on one of the sides. I ended up leaving it too long and it would have too much friction, and just like the joint next to the tire just was messed up and it just clicked like every time it spun. So I ended up having to pop it out. Luckily I didn't have to undo anything and like cut through the plastic that I just super glued, but I was able to pop it out and then cut it, and yeah, it's good now. I'm not going to be using this sheet of metal anymore. I guess it was just kind of a waste of money. It ended up being like way too heavy for the suspension to support, so I'm going to have to scrap out, I guess, all of this. Maybe I can use it to attach this to, but I think I was just going to use plastic because that's what I use for this front end. So this is kind of crazy. This is all of my misprints and mistakes with trying to put in these threaded inserts. It's a lot more than I was hoping for it to be, but I guess it ended up working out. So just in case I gave you guys a terrible image in your mind of how this thing's gonna look, I kind of set it up on how I envisioned it. So I put this ruler here so you can see like the general scale, but so this is how big it's gonna be. It's gonna be pretty big. It almost looks good from the front right now. That's pretty cool. So I 3D printed this drive shaft because I bought an extension, but it would have had like a break in the middle where it would have like, it basically would have been two of these connected to each other and would have sagged and like went down, so I would have had to figure out a fix. So I kind of just 3D printed this drive shaft, so hopefully it lines up. But basically I'm just gonna 3D print a platform to go all the way across through here, and then I'm gonna end up storing the electronics for it on it, but it's gonna connect to here, and that's what that's gonna attach to. And yeah, so this is what it's gonna look like. So I don't know how I didn't notice this earlier, but the suspension that I bought actually came with stiffer springs. I just thought that they were extra springs, but I just pulled them out and they do feel stiffer. But it's already done, so I'm not taking it apart. So now that I put back this rear suspension together, it almost looks like I might need to do what I did in the front and either change it to vertical or just add more shocks. But it's like, it stands up, but like when you push it down, it kind of just sits there and it doesn't want to return back up. And I have a feeling once I add the weight from the rest of this, it's gonna sag down the back. So how I printed this piece actually was I just took the inside of one of these and just measured it, and these are angled so it only goes on in one direction, but when I printed it, it didn't come out that good. It's kind of just blobs, but it ended up working. It just goes on in every direction, but that doesn't matter. And so for when I printed this, I just printed it vertically because it made it come out better. it took a lot longer, but it definitely helped with the final quality. It makes it look a lot better and cleaner. Alright, so I just spent probably like 2 hours making this in total, and then probably like another hour designing it and waiting for it to print. But here is what I just made. It's a mount for my servo back here. I also had to cut this out of my extra metal back here, just right there. So I attached it with M4 screws, and then I'm putting 2 M3 screws, and I just drilled holes in the top of this, so it should kind of sit. It should sit like this, and I'm just gonna screw it through there and try to attach it. Alright, so just like every part of this build, it's not perfect. The plastic's kind of pinching in a little bit, but it looks like it holds it pretty nice. It's pretty on there. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere, so yeah.
Alright, Lumber Mill, that's the end of this video. I'm going to be going back next weekend, so hopefully I can finish up the rear suspension and also make a new steering bar, because I didn't show it in the video, but I ended up trying like 3 times, and like the length was wrong, so the like angle of the tires kind of went like in and out. It wasn't like perfectly straight. So I'm going to try and fix that, and then I'm going to try and finish printing the frame underneath so everything connects and it's going to stand up together. But thank you for watching, and yeah, hopefully I do this.